I now call the Town of Oliver Springs Planning, or almost Planning Commission, I'm sorry. Meeting to order. Joe, will call the roll, please.
Robert Miller, Jeff Bass, Kenny Brown,
Here.
Jason Siltner, Jeff Denton,
Here.
James Brumman.
Yes.
We have three. We have a quorum.
Rise for the pledge, please. Ooh, boy, you got this thing right on. Attention, salute, flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Joe, you will lead us in prayer, please.
Our Father, we come before you tonight and we thank you for all that you have given us. We pray that you will give us wisdom as we make decisions here today. We pray that you would be with our citizens and the sick folks and offer peace and comfort to them. We pray for our leaders on all levels of government, the elected ones, the appointed ones, the deep state, that they would feel your presence and come to you. We realize that we must repent and turn to you in order to hear the soft voice of your Holy Spirit speak to our hearts and offer us your holy and divine leadership. Be with the first responders and all the folks in the military that are at home and abroad, and offer them peace and comfort. And we pray once again that you would come quickly and offer us world peace. We ask all these things in thy Son's name. Amen.
Amen. Approval of minutes from last meeting.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion and a second. Got a motion and a second. Any discussion of deletion of additions? Call the roll, please.
Kenny Brown,
Yes.
Jeff Denton,
Yes.
James Brumman.
Yes.
Okay.
Anybody in the audience would like to speak? Any citizen would like to speak? Okay. I got an update very shortly. I'm doing it off memory. I have no written notes, so forgive me for that. I'll probably do better without notes. I'll do it shorter maybe anyway.
Hey, Mayor, the mic's not working. I just got a message.
Your mic's not working? Your must not be plugged up. I'm working. Test 1, 2. You got enough volume over there? Okay. Is yours plugged up? It might be disconnected from cord. I got it on. Okay, thank you. Okay, where were we? Oh, it's my turn, I guess, again. Anyway, I want to speak on a few things, and some people wouldn't want to speak this in public, but I don't mind it at all. It's, I won't name any section of town, I won't name any house or any person, but we're beginning to get a rodent problem. And I won't tell you what section of town. It is being looked at. We've going to call in the people that takes care of those things. So our codes officer is looking at it, but we'll get the people to get rid of them. We encourage everyone that has a home that has that problem, that they know they have that problem, try to eliminate that. Each house eliminates their own problems. If they have them, eventually we'll take care of that. Nobody, and these are large rodents. They're not mice. They're rats. So, and they're not in one spot. There are several spots. And we all know that if you keep a clean area, keep your garbage picked up, and in containers, sealed containers and stuff, that animals tend to stay away from that. But if you leave that stuff available, the raccoons and the rodents of any type will come and seek that food, because that's easy for them to get. And then that happens, and then they have little mice, and then snakes come and eat the mice, and then all of a sudden we have a bigger problem. We'll have poisonous snakes in this wooded areas we have around here. So I encourage everyone to keep their eye out, and if they see something that they think they need to notify us about, please do. The chief and the animal control officer, he's restricted to what all he can do, but we're going to get a person in that deals with that type of thing, where he can try to isolate it to keep it under control anyway. But there's only so much we can do. We can't go on other people's property and do it. We can't, you know, I set traps for those, as they're too light-footed to trip traps, so. And, but just encourage everyone to bear with us, and let's don't let this thing get out of hand. Because I even hate to bring it up, but we're not the only people that have them. Oak Ridge has them, I'm sure, Knoxville probably has them, I'm sure. It's just certain types of years, certain seasons that they start, and a lot of years it gets out of control, and let's try to nip it in the bud before it gets too far off. That's all I have to say, man.
Thank you, Mayor. The streets crew has been completing many items on their list to beautify the city. One of the projects has been the Carmichael Park, where they have completely mowed and trimmed the trees and placed in the mulch inside the playground. The basketball court inside of the Arrowhead Park has been excavated, and we are very excited for Rogers Group to lay the asphalt. It'll be a great addition to Arrowhead Park. Also, TDOT has performed a bridge inspection today, and the report should be out shortly. The asphalt crew, Professional Asphalt, has finished the repairs on Winrock, and they'll begin on Hen Valley in the upcoming weeks. That's all I have, Mayor.
Mr. Brown.
Just one or two things. One of them, a tree fell down here right outside of Parnell, between Parnell and Wiley, there by the telephone pole. And part of it's on the sidewalk. And I'm not sure if the bulk of it is left up to the landowner, but it just needs to be moved.
We'll look at it.
And, other than that, you know, after reading what we said, that pile of trash out there before we get to the cigarette store, they gonna take care of that?
Yes. DJ, you still here? We're gonna work together on that and get that taken care
We'll
of,
work
correct?
together, but I need to know what my taxes go for if you can't do the brush pickup.
Well, I'm gonna try to explain that. I thought I had already.
Well, I mean, you know,
Well, that's more commercial, like, that's like hiring a tree guy to come out and cut a big tree, you know, we're not responsible for removing that tree. And you clean, I know a lot of that dirt probably went to us, I'm not sure, and you clean the brush off that to get to the dirt, correct? And so, that wasn't the city that did it, and,
Where is this?
what's that address? It's there at the tobacco store, what's
321.
321 East Tri-County Boulevard. We'll try to assist you in that. I mentioned today, if we stack it up and burn it, get away with power lines, we'll get a burn permit.
Yeah, can we burn it on site?
No problem, sir.
I don't have no problem with it, no, but it just don't need to be brought up in public if it's, I pay my taxes on that property and I have no other.
Yeah, but that's your private property, sir. That's your private property. And you pull that off your private property.
Again, but what do I get for those taxes if I don't get brush pickup?
There's so much private property.
And I don't charge you the dirt, and,
I understand that.
We'll go-
That's why sometimes I don't like to get involved in getting the same screen, because somebody,
well, it ain't got
when you do
nothing to
that, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. VJ, and you know that, I'm your friend, and I hope you're my friend,
Exactly.
as individuals, not as mayor and citizen. I have to take mine off. If I cut trees on my property, I have to get rid of it. I can't pull it to the road and get rid of it.
Well,
Trees now, and
but I
that,
do have brush pickup, and we had a truck to do that. But anyway, we'll work with you.
well, you know, we're willing to push it up in a pile if you don't have any
That's what I
equipment out there and
said.
set it fire.
We'll work with you.
Yeah, I don't want to lose friendships or
Oh, I ain't
have
gonna lose
enemies
nothing.
over this thing, and
I ain't gonna lose friends.
I didn't bring it up, he did, I brought it up to you out
I
there.
don't either, but you know, it seemed to me like, you know, when you did the removal of the trees, you had the equipment there to haul them off too, when you haul the rock off.
But I pay taxes to get tree brush pickup, so, but anyway, we're good.
Well, that's, brush, I guess we need to define brush, what brush is, and we'll have to do that in writing probably, but, you have
We
any?
can, you know, we can look at Knoxville and Bridge too, because they do it every week for citizens, but that's another story, so.
Yeah, we looked at some of their equipment they got today, and I know how much bankroll they got.
I'd like to have that.
They got equipment to get rid of that. If we had it, we could do it.
I'd
But we
like to have
don't.
that too.
And we're a little town and big taxpayers like you, so,
That's all I got.
okay.
I don't have anything at this time, Mayor.
Okay. You got anything for us today, sir?
Nothing this time.
Okay. Don't say more trouble. Chief?
I apologize in advance, I've got quite a few items to go over with you. First, I know a little while back you wanted to meet my department. I had two that were off and one on vacation, so I'd like to introduce you to them right now. Donna? This is Donna Hines, one of our dispatchers.
I'm sorry.
Hello,
Tell everybody who you are and what you know.
I am Donna Hines. I've been employed here for 4 years. I'm originally from Oliver Springs, grew up here, and I live in Morgan County now.
We won't hold that against you, I don't know.
I hope not.
You got anything else you want to say?
That's it.
Appreciate you, thank you much.
Lucky.
Mayor, council, I'm Laura Pope. I've been with the police dispatch now for about a month and a half. I've already received 2 certifications. Learned a lot so far. The department has been very helpful. I'm really liking that job. And like I said, they've helped out a lot for someone that didn't know anything. So I was all new to this. I have retail background, not police background. It's very interesting, and I'm hoping that I can continue. Thank you.
Thank you.
And to add to you, Miss Pope is one of your homeowners in this city.
Okay, great.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
I'm not from Morgan County.
Thank you. Thank you. And tell those other Morgan County people to stay in the left lane when they come on.
That's right.
I mean, out of the left lane, on the right lane, going toward, okay. Just kidding.
The next 2 officers you're going to meet have worked here for over their 90 days, and they're coming before you to be removed off probation. They have both fulfilled it very well. They've both worked very well, and it's my recommendation you hire them and make them a full-time officer with us. First one's Mr. Garen Cooper.
He's the Morgan County.
We're gonna move our city limits up there.
My name's Luke Cooper. I started this line of work back in 2015 with Morgan County, and worked my way from, as a jailer to patrol deputy, and resident of Morgan County, like they said. Got a fiance and a son at home, and also I started back here back in March. Love it so far, and hope I can further my career here.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Do y'all want to vote individually or as a group?
We can go, bro.
Okay. Next one's Mr. Cody Owens.
Hey, Cody. Cody's got a lot of experience. He told us last meeting about it.
Yes, sir. I think it's,
Be as young as he is. He's older than he looks, by the way.
I am. I'm actually 32, not 16. Actually, somebody thought I was 16 years old today, so.
No, I'm not gonna say anything about your size, okay?
I've heard it all.
I know he's in good shape. He's strong. Go ahead.
But I'm Cody Owens. I was born and raised in Anderson County, not Morgan County. We'll clear that up. Get that out front. I started after high school, went in the Army, active duty. Got in law enforcement in 2013. Worked out in Mount Juliet. Did a lot of things down there. Wore a lot of different hats. SWAT team leader, trainer, firearms, emergency vehicle operations instructor. Helped out with the training division there. Was patrol supervisor, supervisor of a aggressive criminal enforcement unit. We did drug interdiction stuff. Really wasn't the right place for me to be down there. Big city life. I don't care too much for it. So I came back up here, and this is home now. Live right outside just outside the city limits. If y'all want to annex a little more on Airport Road, a little further out, bring me in the city, that'd be all right too.
Okay.
Thanks.
Need a motion for these 2 officers? You got the names, Joe?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion that they made full-time and effective date is paper right tomorrow? Effective tomorrow? Got a second?
Second.
You got a motion, got a second? Anybody else have anything, Mr. Burnett? Okay, call the roll, Joe.
Kenny Brown,
Yes.
Jeff Denton,
Yes.
James Brown.
Yes. One of the first things I'd like to bring to your attention is a question of how you want things handled. One of the things we have right now is we have 27 homes that are in violation of high grass. That being said, one of the things that we've discussed is how to combat this. One of the best ways, and I've spoken with the city manager and the mayor about, is taking in private bids on mowing these lots. When we find them in violation, we certify them with a letter. They have so many days to become in compliance. When they have not become in compliance, we can then step in and mow their yard and do one of two things, and that's where we're asking your discretion. We can either, one, issue a citation and then bring it before the judge and ask for restitution upon dismissal of the citation, since it's now in compliance. They will pay for the mowing. Or secondly, we hold on to that debt, use to the attorneys, and attach a lien to the property if not paid. My question is for y'all, how do you want this to be handled?
I think it's gonna be more effective if we just attach a lien to the property. But they're not gonna show up and pay it anyway, I wouldn't think. They're not cutting the grass.
Yes, sir.
I'd like to see it attached to the property.
Any more comments?
Is that something we have to have a lawyer to do?
No, we can query him.
Do you want it attached to the deed or attached to the property taxes?
Attached to the property taxes.
Done that before.
That's presently, if we did it, that's what our present policy is, I think, isn't it?
That, as far as I know, it is.
Yeah. I think that's by code. I think we're required to do that. Joe, do you have any comments on that?
Yeah, it'd be maybe a little slower, but more sure on property taxes. Because people, like somebody said, they don't come to court.
Yeah. Okay.
You got absentee owners too that, may have trouble serving them the papers.
Any more comments on it?
So I need to make a motion on that?
Yeah, we'll have to have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, we've got a motion, this second.
See, second. I second.
Motion second. Any more comments? Call it over. Please.
Kenny Brown,
Yes.
Jeff Denton,
Yes.
James Brummett.
Yes.
So I'll put together a bid out packet for all commercial lawnmower crews that want to put in for it, and I'll bring it in front of the board, and we'll pick whoever y'all want.
Now, I think the way Oak Ridge does it is, I got a little experience with this. They just have a rotation list of people that they use.
We'll have to make a rotation list.
Doesn't matter to me how you do it, as long as the grass, the knee-high grass don't work.
I'll do a rotation list, if that's okay.
It's whatever you would feel more effective. He was looking at the cost effectiveness if we was to take low bid versus a rotation of having to come up with the rotation. Seeing, like we do with wreckers, we have to set a maximum number of wreckers because it gets to the point that it's nowhere fruitful for them to do it. So if we add 15 lawnmower guys, we're only calling them once a month or once every 2 months, they're not going to show up.
We'll, more
I
than
think we should
2 or
just leave that up to the chief and the city manager.
3. 2 or 3.
City manager has more, I think, experience when it comes to the lawn care side of getting them to come out under city mandate, so I would go on his recommendation.
We did it in my last city. We had a low bid, and we took the low bid, and they mowed all the properties for us.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
I'm saying this with a good tone of heart, but we don't want overkill on that. We don't want, Mr. Laxton's officers does a good job, and he does a good job. And we like them enforcing the law, not chasing down the lawns to mow.
Right.
So we have some.
We have a codes enforcement, that guy, that Mark Neely, that reports to me. This is just so that we can give him his orders and he carries it out. Right now, the city ordinance shows 10 inches, which is quite high, so I think it's very fair that if we're waiting until that amount of height, that we're not really picking on anybody that, doesn't need to be addressed, because like the mayor said earlier, we're getting a rodent infestation problem, and I know of all 3 properties that we're speaking of, that's the issue why they're there. So if we can go in now, before we pay a lot of money to a pest control agency to come in, if I can get the grass down and then they come in, I think we will solve our rat problem really, really quick.
And that's regarding on the heights and stuff, we can change that always, but that's also, as you know, it has to go to the state on that change. Because it's not in their local ordinances, it's in the big book, so. Okay, Anything else?
Yes, the last thing I want to go with you and say is a safety concern that I have. We have been doing studies, and what really brought it to my attention the other day is I was actually in dispatch when a woman from another town came into the police department to pay a citation. She was, quite agitated of having to come in and pay a speeding citation as well. But she come down and started flipping out $100 bills. She said, "How much is this going to cost me?" She done threw about $300 down on the table. We advised her it's $144 here in Oliver Springs. She started laughing. I kind of took a little bit of offense to it, but then I found out why. I started calling around and checking, and I found out that we are the lowest citation area in this East Tennessee. The medium citation right now is $264.50. We're at $144. I just feel like right now our citations are not being very effective on recidivism, and that they are coming back and not worrying about speeding in our town. I have spoke with the judge about this, I spoke with the mayor and the city manager as well about the proper way to do this. We have also had safety concerns of wanting to find a way to fund more officers. I feel like this is a win-win situation. We're concerned about the safety of our officers and the amount of officers we have. I kind of have the notion of, I don't want to pass this off to our taxpayers that are law-abiding citizens. We can allow that our violators pay for this by an increase of our citations. If we do an increase of $91 to our court cost and work with Ramona on how to fund this and get it line item correctly, I feel like this will not only fund us to have a safer town and more officers, but it will also cause people to realize speeding in Oliver Springs is not a great idea. It's not going to be something to laugh at when you walk in my police department.
I make a motion to approve.
Thank you, sir.
Motion to approve. Did you get the amount written down, Joe, please?
Yeah.
Okay. Need a second?
Are we, the question,
Yes, sir.
are we duplicating this, one of our other citizens, one of the other cities?
We are going in the middle. So what we have is the ceiling is $264.50 and the floor is $203. So I feel like the way they kind of advise on citations is kind of like Thomas was telling me about with water. They recommend a 4% inflation every year for our citations. We've not done one in quite some time, so we're behind the curve on the 4%. So I feel like if we could get a handle on things and shoot in the middle at the 235, I've spoken with Ramona, and we have an exact figure that will make it an exact dollar of $235. It's not going to be like $238.50 or $25. It's going to be exactly $235 for a citation here. It's right in the middle in between $203 and $264.50. I just feel like that puts us in a good category to where we're not the highest, we're not the lowest, and we're being fair.
I just wanted to have a defined amount on it, and not be arbitrary, so that's fine with me.
It will actually take our court cost from 106.25 to 197.25.
That will make the bond forfeiture on a speeding ticket, if they don't want to come to court, $235 instead of $144.
Okay. Anything else? We need a second.
I second.
Okay, got a motion, got a second. Any further discussion? Call the roll, Joe.
Jeff Bass. Oh, I'm sorry, Kenny Brown.
Yes.
Jeff Denton.
Yes.
James Brown.
Yes.
Pass.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Chief.
Is, we have a fireman here tonight, Chief? Fireman?
We don't have anything now.
You don't have anything?
No, sir.
No fires put out, okay. Old business. Do we have any old business to bring before the board tonight? Old business. New business. Item A, under new business, discuss and approve Chief David Laxton to be added to the bank account with authority to sign checks. We must have so many people on that, and he's the next guy in the line to do that. And then faster we've had the chief on the list.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve, we need a second.
Second.
Any further discussion? Okay, call the roll, please, Joe.
Kenny Brown.
Yes.
Jeff Denton.
Yes.
James Brown.
Yes.
Pass.
Discuss and possibly approve an increase in court citations for speeding.
We already done that.
Just did it. Okay. Discuss and possibly approve 21-22 fiscal year budget for general fund, State Street aid, sanitation, and water and sewer budget. City manager, please.
Thank you, Mayor. In your package, you'll find all of those budgets. We had a budget workshop, and I was able to meet with some of you guys individually as well. The budget for the general fund does balance. The budget that you have in front of you today has a surplus of $37,000 and $37,158. It has in it money for a partial money for $20,000 for a patrol car, $20,000 for the half of the metal building that is going to take the place of the dilapidated building down at the shop right now. It also has in it $8,000 for renovations at the police department. It also has in it a 3% raise, up to 3% raise for employees. And it's a balanced budget with some surplus in it as well.
Make a motion to approve.
Got a motion to approve, need a second?
I'll second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Call roll, please, Joe.
Kenny Brown.
Yes.
Jeff Denton.
Yes.
James Brummett.
Yes.
Passed.
Okay, now that was the general fund budget.
Yes, that's general fund.
The other budget is the...
Drug fund.
I think drug fund will have to wait on a little
Yeah,
bit.
drug fund has to wait till the end of the fiscal year.
But the sanitation budget, we have that with us tonight. The sanitation budget...
Yeah, it does, okay.
The sanitation budget right here is a no rate increase to this because when we signed up for the contract, they did not do a cost of living, a CPI increase. They can go up to like 3 to 5%, but they do it based on fuel and stuff. So there is no increase on that. So that's for the sanitation budget for 2020-2022 be approved tonight.
We'll do the water. We're going to have to wait on the water if we delay a meeting. We hadn't come to that yet, but water board won't be able to approve till August. We won't be able to approve the water board budget till August.
I would say the city council would approve the water board, would approve the water board budget.
The city council can approve it tonight and send it in, and then the water board can approve it at the next meeting in July.
Yeah, that'd be just fine because the water board, the water budgets don't go to the comptroller for approval, but the general fund does.
Yeah, I know it, that's true, but
We can, for the water fund budget, you can approve it tonight, we can discuss it tonight, or we can wait until the
let's wait the water board in.
Okay.
I'd rather have more people here
Yeah, we do.
than we got.
So I will need approval for sanitation and state street aid tonight.
General fund,
Huh?
so we approve the general fund.
Yes, sir. We approved the general fund. Now I need approval for the sanitation budget, and I need approval for the state street aid budget. We have around $180,000 in the bank for state street aid, and the sanitation budget, there is no rate increase, but it is contracted out, so it's a break even. What we take in, we pay for the service.
Motion to approve.
Okay, we've got a motion, need a second.
Second.
Motion is second, any discussion? Call roll, John.
Kenny Brown.
Yes.
Jeff Denton.
Yes.
James Brummett.
Yes.
Okay, so the ones we approved so far is
Sanitation.
general fund,
General fund.
state street aid, and sanitation, right?
Yes, sir.
Water sewer, we want to wait till next meeting.
If you so choose, fine.
So delete that from our agenda for that. Discuss the possibly approved budget amendments for general fund and drug fund for current fiscal year. I think you have copies of those.
Yes, sir. What this is basically, as the budget is built, as with all budgets, they're your best guess. They're what you think you're going to do. Kind of like in your home life, when you make a grocery budget. But we make grocery budgets for all year. So how many boxes of cereal are you going to go through all year? You do your best guess. So sometimes things change. Sometimes situations change. And with that, what this represents, what these budget amendments represent is getting it to be what was actually spent so that we have an approved line item budget that is accurate to what has been spent. So if there was an overage in one area, there was an underage in another area, it shows up as these corrections at the end of the year. And that's what this is. These are the corrections for the general fund and for the drug fund. So some line items went over by 100, some more revenue came in by a couple thousand. It gives and takes, and it just gets it lined up where it is. It's already happened. So there's not any real changes that can be made. It's what happened. But now it'll be accurate.
Okay? Any motion?
Make a motion to approve it.
Second.
General fund and drug funds for the current year.
Yes, sir.
Got a motion, got a second, any more discussion? Call the roll, please, Jeff.
Kenny Brown,
Yes.
Jeff Denton,
Yes.
Dave Remick.
Yes.
Item E is discuss and approve the purchase of a new bleachers for Airhead Park for the out of next fiscal year 2021-22 budget. You want to speak on that?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. The mayor was able to negotiate with the school board for us to buy 2 bleachers, and they reimburse us for 1, but it'll be on next year's budget. Same with us. We won't buy these till next year's budget as well, which was passed tonight, but it won't go into effect until July 1st. So the mayor was able to do a good negotiation for them to pay for 1. So we'll buy 2 now. We'll pay for it. We'll get them ordered, and they'll reimburse us when we send them the invoice.
What are we gonna do with the other dilapidated bleachers?
Well, that's been the tricky part. The other dilapidated bleachers, they're the concrete bleachers with the wood that is bowing on it. One of the ideas was to get with the shop class with the high school and see if they'd be willing to repair them as a project. And I think that from what I've heard, they're willing, but we gotta wait till school's back in session. So right now, the bleachers aren't being used because there's no organized sports, but the school would make a good learning, and they can make it part of their budget. It is part of their functions that they use, and the kids can learn. So that's where we're
Require
at.
them to draw an improvement to it, like putting cross braces in the concrete block to make sure that there's stable.
Yeah, they could
Like
learn.
be new wood put on and the guardrails put on,
They could
a
learn.
handicap, not a handicap spot, but a handicap, not a wheelchair handicap, but somebody that needs to hold on rails to pull up to the upper seats.
Yeah, they could learn carpentry, engineering, regulations.
And they would be good-looking bleachers, I think. They would paint the block after they reinforced everything they need.
Because at first we were going to tear them down.
Actually, we need more bleachers there anyway. Girls softball does great, and,
Same thing, I'd have to see the ball game, would it?
well,
If you know what I'm saying.
they're hard, it's hard to, but if you get an 8 stack, it's gonna be, you're gonna have to support it more, and you're gonna have to support it with more money.
Still, this will be just on one side only,
Huh?
one side only, right?
What do you mean?
The visitors won't have a bleacher, right? Or it'll all be on one side? Visitors
All bleachers that are on one side,
One
except
side.
for the baseball field.
I'm just looking at it, I understand.
Then there'd be 2 sets, and they're portable. If we need them somewhere else, we brought the ones from DAV over here for the tournament.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are kind of they can put them on a truck and move them if they need to.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion to approve the 2 sets of bleachers for a cost of $39 some cents a piece. What's that charge? You can give it to Joe and he'll have it.
39.
$3,900 and something dollars each, so we paid $3,900, county paid, it's county school budget, we'll take care of the other $3,900.
Is that 3,900 for one or 3,900 for two?
For one.
For one.
So it'd be
There's some cents on that somewhere too.
times 2, and
40 cents, I think.
we would pay times 2, but the county reimburses for 1.
Yes, sir.
We're gonna go buy them and they're gonna send them a bill for 1 set and then they'll pay it.
So it's $1,700 for both.
And prices may be different, so I'll let you know if it's outrageous, or we'll just fix it in the budget next year.
Okay, we got a motion, so.
Need a second.
Need a second.
I got something to say before we adjourn.
No, we need a motion to second on bleachers, no, or did we pass it?
No, Brother Denton made the motion, I need a second.
Second, I'll second.
All right,
Got a motion, got a second, any discussion? We already got one, then you discuss it, okay.
Okay.
Kenny Brown,
For a second.
Yes.
Jeff Denton,
Yes.
Dave Remick.
Who had one more thing?
I got one more. I make a motion that next meeting will be the 4th of July holidays, that we postpone that meeting because myself and several other members will be gone vacation, and not to have the July 1st meeting or the water board meeting.
Okay, so, got a motion? Is that a motion?
Yeah, that'd be July 1st. That'd be, yes, I like that. Make that motion.
You want to have the water board meeting the third Thursday of the month?
We could do that.
Yeah, that'd be better, I
That'd be-
guess.
Unless it's,
We might have business to take care of then.
yeah, okay, that'll be fine. Yeah, the water board on the bill on 15.
Got a motion, need a second.
That's it.
Got a motion and a second, any more discussion? Okay, that, call roll, Joe.
Kenny Brown?
Yes.
Jeff Denton?
Yes.
James Brummett?
Yes.
Passed.
I got one more thing, you got one.
Now I got one more thing, you go ahead.
Go ahead, go ahead with your director.
Before we adjourn, may we please pass the water budget, even though we're gonna pass it again at the water board meeting, with it being that pushed far out, in this water budget, there's raise for the employees of 3%, that I wanna make sure that the water budget fund people don't have to wait. Is that an
Has everybody
idea?
seen it?
Yeah, it's in the packet.
Yeah. I mean, has everybody had a chance to study? I have no, Joe, is that okay, is that,
Yeah, I agree with that.
I make a motion.
okay, got a motion, need a second.
I'll second.
Everybody knows what the motion is, what's the second, right? Okay, any discussion?
And let's not forget that we put a clause inside of our billing structure last year that says that to keep up with inflation, there's a 2% water and sewer increase every year effective July 1st, or the consumer price index, whichever one is greater. So this year, it's only the 2%, even though the CPI with inflation may be greater, it's going up, it hasn't went up in my opinion, so the 2% I think is a good number. I actually think that inflation's been at 4% this month or something, or 5% this month, but you need a whole year in there for it to be that number, because it's an average. I'm good with the 2 if everyone else is too, and then next year we'll see where the cards fall.
Yeah, if we ever get the water loss thing squared away, we might be able to adjust on that some too, eventually.
Yeah, it's
It
eating,
might not ever happen, but.
it's actually eating at our savings, but yeah.
Excuse me, did you repeat that? Go
Yes.
up what now?
Yes, ma'am. The way that we have it set up with our rate structure, it was passed last year in the ordinance that sets the rates. There was a clause at the bottom of it that says that the water and sewer rates will go up by 2% annually, or by the consumer price index, whichever one is greater. But sometimes consumer price index will go up to, 4 or 5% per year, but with what's going on now with inflation, everything's kind of inflating. So that means when we buy pipe, it costs more to buy the pipe. We just want to be able to buy the same amount and do the same amount. Just as the money goes up, the materials have to go up, 106 a pipe. Yeah. So 2% for water and sewer. Because what happens in some utilities is they will not raise water rates, and everybody thinks they're doing good, but in reality, in 5 years, they've got to raise it 10%, and then it's a lot more difficult and you didn't make ends meet the whole time through, so you've gotten behind, and then you do a rate increase anyway. So this way, it's as it progresses, as this bottle of water costs more and more, it's a break even anyway. It's a break even.
What's that figure, 2%? 3 or 4 cents?
Well, it'll be $2 for every 100, or 20 cents for every $10. So I don't know what your bill is.
Okay, what I'm seeing, an average, we've got to cut on average water, right? When you get so many.
Well, if you had a $100 water bill, it'll be an extra $2 now.
Extra $2.
If you had a $1,000 water bill, it'd be $20.
Okay, anybody else got one more thing? I got one more thing.
Move with adjourn.
No, I got one more thing
Please,
first.
y'all have to vote on this.
Don't vote yet. You gotta vote on that.
Yeah,
You
don't
gotta vote on the water bill. Okay, need a vote on to go ahead and pass water bill budget now, but we'll do a more formalized budget vote.
Kenny Brown.
Yes.
Jeff Denton.
Yes.
James Brummel.
Yes.
Passed.
Okay, I guess we had a motion and a second, I'm not sure of that.
We did.
Okay,
Denton and Brown.
okay, is there one more things? I got one more thing. As y'all know, I'm not resigning yet, but as you do know, that most mayors of small towns like Oliver Springs have full-time jobs, and they come out and sign papers in the afternoons and when they're called to do so. I plan on spending less time here, I'll be here in the mornings probably, and just enough to aggravate him a little bit. I'm finding I'm getting on their nerves, I think, a little bit, and chief and city manager.
Not me, I like you around.
Well, anyway, it's a personal feeling I've got, and my feelings usually, when they occur to me, they're usually right, because I talk to the good Lord about it. And, but I will be available to do mayoral jobs, such as I'll be driving around town checking on things, and I'll be signing papers that need to be signed, and I'll be attending the ETDD meetings, and I've attended 3 this week. Usually that's in the evenings and at night. Attended one yesterday by computer, the Anderson County Development Board meeting, and that interfered with my church, so I signed out of that meeting with church. But there was 2 people in the meeting, and I was here. ATDD is in Knoxville. I attend that once a month. The Road and Reliance is in once a month. I attend it. I try to attend them at least 1 or 2 meetings in Anderson County and Roane County that they have. It's not really advertised, or mayor and city manager goes to some of those also. But anyway, I'll still be here, but if they need to call me, they can. If you need to call me, my phone number is it's 865-310-0262. Those who watch TV can get it, and I don't care how many calls I get. But, you know, I just won't be spending as much time here probably. I'll be here when I'm needed to be here, and I'm always phone length away. And I enjoy this job, and sometimes you enjoy things too much, you try to do too much and take it out on people's hands, possibly not. We'll try this for a week or 2 and see how it goes, but I'm sure that they're more than capable of handling what's going on in the city. And I'm just, you know, as most parents are, to sign papers and help make decisions, not make decisions, all decisions. And if I'm not here, James will be around. If you need somebody, call him. But anyway, now I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Got a motion to adjourn?
Second.
It's got a motion and a second. I'll stand. That wants to adjourn.